Welcome to the Let's Talk BS podcast. I'm Bryan.
And I'm Sofia, and we're coming to you live from the
757, where we discuss real estate,
culture, and current events.
What's going on, Sofia? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Just smile and laugh. I told you. I think I mentioned that last time, and you had like you didn't know what I was talking about.
What?
So I'm just going to revisit.
Wait, what did it
You just laugh. You smiling, laughing like when we start the pod.
I smile? I start smiling? I mean,
you was laughing? No, it was like the laugh. It wasn't, I guess, not necessarily the smile, just the laugh.
Okay.
That's all. How you doing?
I'm good.
That's good.
I'm good. It's been a long week.
Long week, man. I was about to say
it's
Tuesday. I'm about to say,
it's been a long week. Yes, absolutely.
What's on your mind, man? I feel like you got something on your chest, man. Go ahead, get on. Go ahead, get off your chest, man. What's up?
I'm good.
Oh, you good, okay.
It's just been a long week.
Already on a Tuesday?
Already on a Tuesday.
Damn, okay.
On a Tuesday.
So what you been up to then?
So let me see. We recorded 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was end of June, or no, beginning of July we recorded last.
Okay. Yeah. So since then, right
before the 4th of July.
Okay, what did I do for the 4th? I went to my homegirl house for the 4th. I think we talked about that, right? I went to Rock the Dock, which was a party at Waterside.
Okay.
Which was the 6th. Did that. That was actually a lot of fun.
I was about to ask you, how was that? Seemed like it was a lot of fun.
It seemed like, because it was.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun.
That's what's up.
I paid for it, though, on Monday morning, because I did not go to the gym. I did not do anything. I kind of relaxed all day.
Yeah. It's funny how as we get older, man, that
24 to
reset
48
button,
hours
it
to recover.
Ain't no what they say, ain't no spring chicken no more.
No.
That reset button is a real thing.
I need 48 hours.
You need to take a load off. I get it.
Yeah, so I was out on Sunday and then obviously in on Monday.
Yeah.
I didn't really do nothing that day. And then I took my daughter to where we go? We went to Duke University. We went to North Carolina A&T, and we also went to Bennett. Bennett is a very small all-girls HBCU in Greensboro, which was, literally we rode around the campus and it took 2 minutes.
Yep. It's that. Yeah.
It's very small.
I have an aunt who went there.
Yeah.
Shout out to my Greensboro family, G-Ho.
That's the street you grew up on?
Nah. Florida Street, Barber Park.
Okay.
That's where I grew up.
All right.
Well, not grew up, but that's where my grandma lived.
Okay.
And I was there a lot.
So we were there. We visited what is it called? The Woodard? Is it Woodard?
Oh, you're talking about the Civil Rights Museum?
Yeah, the Civil Rights Museum. Yeah. Let me tell you. So when we first got there was this white guy, Caucasian, however you want to say it, who started the tour. And I'm not going to lie, it was a little boring. And he left after like 6 minutes for some reason. I don't know what. Maybe he got off
Was it just
that
y'all?
day.
Was it like a group?
No, it was a group.
Oh, okay.
It was a group of all races there, right?
Okay.
So he left, and then came this other guy who was very, he was just kind of very particular in the way he walked and talked. I can't even describe it, but he was talking, and I just was looking at him laughing because he was so animated, right?
Okay.
So about 10 minutes after that, this tour was about an hour and a half. So 10 minutes after that initial 6 minutes, then came the black man.
Black man.
What?
Okay.
When he walked in, the whole mood changed. The tour got exciting.
Okay.
He started spitting out facts. And it was funny because as he was going through the tour, like I said, there was all races there. And so, there were specific things that happened in history that was racist and geared towards African Americans that just wasn't right?
Yeah.
But as he was talking, it was almost as if he was talking to people who did this to our people, right?
Yeah, man.
And he just was like, how would you feel if this happened to your child? We were just sitting there like laughing, and it didn't make it any better that one of the tourists that was there, she was, I would say, maybe 80. Easy. Maybe 90. Because black don't crack. So she could have been 90. I don't know. But she was sitting there. And as this person was talking, she in the background in the wheelchair talking about some,
Yo, that's funny. That's like a movie scene, yo. I get everything that you explained it right there. It's like me watching a movie and you kind of like see the room. Yo, that's funny, man. That's hilarious.
Then this Asian guy came in and he was late and he didn't have like his mask on. He didn't have his wristband or nothing. And the tour guy was like, how did you get back here? He was like, yeah, we paid. We got tickets. He was like, how much you pay? And so I guess when the guy said the correct amount, he was like, okay. He went and got him a mask and a bracelet.
Yo, that's funny.
I mean, he was a really good tour guide. So if you ever go, I think his name was, what was his name? Something with a D. Denim. I'm gonna look it up. I got his card in my purse, but he was really good.
Okay.
He was really good.
Okay.
And he was fun, and he made the tour fun.
Okay. That's what's up, man.
So then we left there.
So Greensboro treated you decently as well.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Cool,
then we stopped at this like taco spot. I ain't gonna lie, the taco spot kind of had my stomach a little. But after that, we ended up going to Riley, and we went to this soul food spot called Flavor Hill. Fire food.
Matter of fact, I'll mention this. I'll let you keep going. You know, my buddy Mike. Obviously, we recorded in Ibis. I know we haven't mentioned it the last couple of times, but, you know, I think folks who listen kind of understand and know where we're at. Just kind of, you know.
Oh, yeah. Definitely got to come check out the food here. The food here is bomb, too.
Yeah, but I was going to say, Mike, the owner, he was telling me that a person that owns commercial space in Raleigh reached out to him. And so he was thinking, they're kind of trying to talk about him opening Ibis down there.
Oh, that'll be dope.
Yeah, so I'll just
because right in Raleigh, they have like this nice downtown area. Yep. Mm-hmm. And I forget I think it's called it's a popular, is it Flamingo? I can't remember the street name, but it was a really good street, and they have like insomnia cookies. They have all these different restaurants, and people were out. And then at the head of the street, there's some type of event center, because we saw a lot of people walking out in black tie.
Okay.
And it was black people too, which was dope. Then we went to the Tyler Creator concert the next night. I'm not real big on Tyler the Creator, but I will say,
Tyler that dude, man.
His performance made me a believer, because the stadium was rocked out. I mean, it was a good.
Tyler has those.
It was sold out.
I call them. What do you call them? Dang it, what's the name? He has a certain name for his fans, though. But yeah, now Tyler has a cult following, man.
Yeah,
he has a real life.
It's
cult
definitely
following.
That's exactly how he started the concert.
Yeah.
It was definitely giving cult vibes at first, especially with this new album that he has called Chromatopia or something like that.
Yeah.
The album cover does look a little demonic, right?
Yeah.
But when he started the concert, it was that background. He had that hair, and he was chanting Chromatopia. I was looking around like, oh shit. Everybody know the words? I don't know nothing.
Yeah, dog. Yeah. He's one of the artists where you got a cult follow.
So it was this one song.
Uh-oh.
It was this one song that came off. And when I tell you,
uh-oh,
I looked at everybody around me and was like, you better fucking not.
Uh-oh.
It was this one. Hold on, wait. This right here. He says, these niggas thought I was dead. These niggas thought I was dead. That's it chants that, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm with my daughter. I'm with my homegirl and her daughter. We take up the end of the 4 seats, like at the end. We're not in the middle. But next to me is a white guy. Behind me is all white people. And they were saying, these niggas thought I was dead. I turned around, I was like, what?
You was appalled.
Whole stadium was probably about 75% white people.
Yeah, that's
and everybody in there
like he has that
was
type
chanting
of
that.
You know?
And I was like, whoa, okay. And I looked at my daughter. I was like, is this normal? She was like, well, it's a concert. And I was like, oh, okay. I guess. I don't know. But it was a good time. I will say he's a good performer. He danced and everything. He didn't have any backup dancers, no nothing. He performed 28 songs. He did a really good job. Yeah, I was sold. I now I have like 5 songs on my playlist from Tyler the Creator from his concert, which never would have been there had I not went to the concert.
No, Tyler dope, man. Yeah, Tyler dope, man. I mean, his music is not something I can listen to all the time. You know what I'm saying? But like he's a really he's an artist. And that's why I like people who can create art, you know,
Yeah.
when it comes to music. And he really is one of those, and he stayed true to himself. And that's all you really can ask for when it comes to somebody who's making music and
Absolutely.
who's an artist, man. So
Yeah.
I respect his music, and he can rap. Like people,
Yeah, he can.
people be
I was
like
listening
trying to
his
like his
lyrics and
pen.
stuff.
Yeah, his pen is nasty. Like he
Yeah.
was even on the new Clips album that just came out, man. And shout out to Clips. You know, they're from here, from Virginia Beach and Norfolk. But you know, they had an album come out, and you know, they had Tyler on there, man, and that's one of my favorite tracks. And Tyler went sick on that track.
Really?
So
Yeah. So then we tried this restaurant called Rise, and apparently they have one here in Richmond.
Okay.
But the food, it's breakfast. It's a breakfast spot. So you know me, I don't really like biscuits like that. I think we've talked about that.
Mhm.
But I had a blueberry biscuit that had glaze on it with
Okay.
bacon and eggs and cheese. And when I tell you that shit was fire, it was the best biscuit I've ever had in my life.
Oh wow. Okay.
Went back the next day and got more.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
So matter of fact, speaking of biscuits, because I know every time I go back home to Greensboro, I always go by Biscuitville. Did y'all see a Biscuitville where I was down there? Okay.
No.
Yeah, y'all Randleman Road. Y'all rode down Randleman Road. Remember that road while I was down there at all? Okay. Yeah, that's one of the
We
main
literally
roads.
went to where the museum is on Elm and Market.
Yeah, Elm Street. Yeah.
Elm Street?
Yeah, Market Street.
Yeah, so we went there.
Elm Market and Randleman Road. They're like
Right
Virginia
there.
Beach
Okay.
Boulevard and
Well,
Tidewater.
we parked on that street, and then we walked that street, and
Gotcha.
then we dipped and left. When we went to Durham, that's where we went to when we stopped in Duke.
Yeah.
Rode that campus. Beautiful campus.
Yeah.
And then we left Duke and went to Riley. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get back to Greensboro, man. I ain't been there recently, man. You know, but yeah, Greensboro is definitely a place that
yeah, you got to take the kids to that museum and make sure that you ask for that particular.
I will. Yeah, you gotta give me his
tour.
name. I gotta request him.
He's
I'm gonna take a picture with him and send it to you too. Matter of fact, if you
And he's tall, he's skinny,
dude. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what's up.
black guy, but kind of light like you.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what's up. That's
Yeah,
what's up, man.
he was very good.
That's what's
Very,
up.
very good. So yeah, and then we came back. I had a flat tire on the way back.
Mm.
So now my car's in the shop. But
Yeah.
outside of that, you know, that's where we are.
Okay.
What
Cool.
you do?
Let's see. Yeah, last time we recorded was right before the 4th. So 4th, what did I do? The day. So Chesapeake had fireworks on the 3rd.
No,
So-
we talked about the 4th.
No, I don't think we talked about the 4th.
Oh, okay.
Nah, it was. Did we?
I'm pretty sure we did.
No, matter of fact, I remember we recorded because the 4th was on a Friday, and we recorded that Thursday. We recorded the day before the 4th.
Okay.
But yeah, so that Thursday was they had fireworks in Chesapeake. So we went out and saw the fireworks there. It was cool. Kids enjoyed themselves, had a good time. My daughter, she loves fireworks, so it was more for her, I would say. Then the next day, on the actual 4th of July, the golf club that I'm a member of, they had like a big celebration there, which was cool. They had like the pool was open, so they had like snow cones for the kids. They was cooking like hot dogs, hamburgers, and chicken and stuff, and ice cream, and they had drinks for the adults, and then they had like a big foam party, So that was pretty cool. The kids loved that stuff. It was hot as I don't know what that day, but it was fun. We had a good time. Then the next day after that, I remember we went to my neighbor's house who has a pool. My buddy Shao kind of kicked it over his crib, so that was cool too. Then that was 4th of July weekend, and last weekend, pretty much just chill, man. I cooked on the grill, so I make some chicken, some steaks, just some potatoes, asparagus, that type of stuff, and it was good. Kids loved it, wife loved it, so it was cool. I'm trying to think what else did I do this past weekend. That was pretty much it for real. This weekend was kind of low key. This upcoming, actually tomorrow, late tomorrow anyway, evening, I'll be going to Kiwa Island, which is in South Carolina. So I'm looking forward to that. It's a golf trip with the fellas. So every year we've been, trying to put together a trip and go golfing and, kind of talk a little crap and just kind of relax and have a good time. So we're looking forward to that tomorrow. That's why we're recording today to try to make way for that.
So one thing that I experienced when I was in North Carolina was they have something called, it's like a code red type of situation where businesses were shutting down because they were trying to preserve water.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because of the storm.
Oh, okay.
So you may want to check on that because you guys are going to South Carolina where the storm actually hit.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into that then. Yeah.
And don't drink don't drink the tap water. Make sure when you go to a restaurant you get from a bottle.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
Yeah, for sure.
Realistically, when you go get water from a restaurant, you don't know if they're getting it tap or if they're using.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's a good point.
So yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, man. I was looking at the weather, and first it said it was going to rain, but then and now it's straight sunny the 4 days that we're going to be there.
Cool.
So yeah, so that's going to be cool. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much, I guess you could say, what I've been up to. Went to this past weekend. I did go to a birthday party.
For a kid or
yeah,
an
for
adult?
a kid. Yeah,
Oh,
it was a
okay.
kid birthday party. I was skating again.
Okay.
So it was at the one over in Lynn Haven.
Got you some practice in.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. I think in them comments last time we talked about skating.
I ain't worried about the comments.
Okay,
I was there. They weren't there.
Okay. They saw the footage, though. They saw the footage.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, again, anyway, I went skating this past weekend. I had one of my buddies, his daughter turned 5, so we went to the skating, the birthday party, which was at a skating rink. Another thing, too, crazy, just like the one we went to at Haygood, this one, AC blown. It was hot as hell in there.
Where was you at?
The one right there across from our old office in Lynn Haven.
Okay.
I get the skating
Really?
something, whatever it's called, skate something.
Maybe.
Yeah, but it was AC was blown. And, you know, this weekend on Saturday, well, you weren't here, but Saturday was hot.
Really?
It was extremely hot here on
Dang.
Saturday. It was 90 plus. Yeah, so it was burning up. And then the birthday party was in the middle of the day. It was at 1 o'clock.
Oh,
So,
wow. Maybe skating rinks are having issues with AC right now.
I guess. I don't know.
I haven't been skating since that day, and then before that, maybe a couple weeks prior.
Yeah.
I usually go skating in the evening time. So.
Got you. Yeah, but yeah. So yeah,
and at Greenbrier, Wednesday night is family night, so you pay to get in, but you get unlimited pizza for free.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, my kids ain't into skating like that for like even this time. I mean, they was on their skates for like the whole time holding my son because it was a good amount of people in there, so they the little push thing. Like he's like he a big boy, he don't want to mess with that, so he's trying to skate, but yet the whole time he falling like about to fall the whole time, and then he's trying to hold on to the outside. I'm like, bro, like that's not, you got to actually get out here and skate. I'm like, you can just hold on to me, man. Like you just do what I do. I was doing that, and he just kept like he just wasn't having a good time. So there at that particular skating ring. What are you saying, C4? Okay, so it ain't got nothing to do with me. So then that skating ring, they have like a where you can play and all that.
Yeah.
So then after that, like he was on the skating ring for like 10, 15 minutes. After that, all the kids, I'm gonna go play. So yeah, that's what.
And they have like the little skating ring on the side. He didn't want to do that.
Nah, he felt he was too big for that. Yeah. So
I can see that. So Carter was kind of like that way when I put him in real skates because he's too big for the little kiddie skates now. Yeah. And so at first he was like falling, he was nervous, and I gave him a little thing. I want to say maybe like in an hour, he put that thing to the side and was like, I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't scared or anything like that, but he's so accident prone. I was scared that he was going to crack his head open. Man, I was so nervous.
It was so many kids that was falling.
Gosh.
Like
so
literally, I felt like it was like they was passing it to each other.
Yeah.
Like it was like one would break, fall, and the next one I'm like, dang, it's like they were just like just hitting the ground
so
hard.
I told him, I was like, you better brace yourself. You better use your hands. Don't use your head. Use your hands and catch yourself.
Yeah, one kid hit his head hard too. Like one kid was bawling, crying. Sure. One kid's leg looked like he went it looked weird.
Right.
Like it went the other way.
Yeah.
So.
And I told him, I was like, keep your legs bent. And fall forward if you have to. Don't fall back because you can't control it. You don't know how far you are from the ground when you fall backwards.
That's true.
At least you can see it coming if you fall forward.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, yeah.
But yeah, so he listened and he did it. I was like, all right, I gotta let him live.
That's what's up.
Yeah. But, all right, so you went skating. You got a little practice in,
Okay, a little practice. Okay. You always try to carry me. But yep, I had a good time.
Yep, had a good time. Yep. Did Brooke skate?
No, she didn't skate.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay. And did your daughter skate?
No.
Not at all?
No, just me and now. Skating. Yeah.
Sloan was like, I ain't with this.
Yeah, she ain't want no parts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's been going on in mortgage?
Let me see. Mortgage wise, summertime has been pretty busy, I would say. Been getting a good amount of applications come through. I would say some of the situations that I've seen recently, like I had a situation where a person, we were doing a program where you had to be a first-time home buyer. Mm-hmm. And it was a great benefit. It's the Virginia Dream program that we talked about before where you get the 2% reduction in interest rate. Mm-hmm. So right now for that, for the Virginia Housing program, that's like the father program of the Virginia Dream program, the rates right now are right around like 7%, right? Mm-hmm. And so that was the rate that he had. But if you're a first-time home buyer, and you're a first-generation home buyer, meaning like, nobody in your family, immediate family, mother, father, bought a home or whatever, you got to sign an affidavit, as we mentioned before, and then you get a 2% reduction on your rate. So I had this gentleman, he was like, yeah, man, never bought a house, parents never bought a house, so everything was flowing perfectly fine. We got 2 days before closing, and underwriting was doing their final review, and they found a property that showed that he had ownership in like 5 years ago. And so we were looking, and I brought it up to the buyer, and he was like, he's like, man, I didn't own that property. That was my ex-wife's house. And so we kind of dug a little bit deeper and found out that his ex-wife did in fact buy the house in 2019. They got married in 2020, and she and him, or he got added to the deed shortly thereafter, like 6 months after they got married. And so he was like, he remembers at the time she told him, hey, you got to sign this paperwork. So if something were to happen to me, the house would be yours, right? That's something that they just kind of did as a formality. So he didn't think nothing of it, and I can understand it. Like in his mind, he was like,
I don't own it.
I don't own the house. Like it was more
But realistically,
like
you do.
Yeah, but technically in those situations, when you do a gift of deed like that, you do own the house.
Mm-hmm.
You do have ownership rights in it. And so what ended up happening for that particular program, the gentleman, he wasn't able to take advantage of it because he technically had ownership in a home previously. Even after, him and the woman, they end up going through a divorce, and he moved on and all that or whatever. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. It still eliminated him from that program. So we were trying to like figure out how to still qualify him, because we were qualifying him based on that program, right? And so we ended up figuring out. I was happy he ended up actually closing yesterday. So so I was extremely excited about that one. Got delayed like a week and a half or so, week and a half, 2 weeks. But we were able to close yesterday, and he was thrilled. He was excited. He wants to take me out to like brunch. And I mentioned here, I was like, their food here is good. So I was like, we can maybe try to set it up when I get back.
Okay.
So I thought that was a pretty cool, situation that ended up turning out for the best. We had a little, hiccup coming towards the end, but just want to shed light on home ownership and understanding, like, hey, if you do a gift of deed, so if, you do sign off saying that you do have joint ownership in a property, even though you didn't go through the process of purchasing the property, that still qualifies you as being a homeowner.
Correct.
So,
it does.
Yeah.
But also, in addition to that particular program, it does work a little bit differently than some of the other programs that are out there. So, for example, here in Virginia, we have Virginia Housing.
Yep.
And so Virginia Housing defines a first-time home buyer as a person who has not owned a property in the last 3 years.
Yep.
So just knowing the specifics of the program that you're entering or the grant that you're entering, that's going to determine what you qualify for, because they have different guidelines.
That's correct.
So I recently just had a situation where I had a VA buyer. They owned a house 15 years ago, right? So if you're a VA buyer and you have something called a funding fee. And with that funding fee, if you've ever purchased a home before, then your initial funding fee is like 2.15%, right? Now, it doesn't matter if you buy a house 10 years later, 20 years later, or 30 years later. If you are a repeat buyer, then that funding fee is 3.3% unless you have some type of down payment or if you're exempt, right? So this particular couple had not owned a home in the last 14 years. But due to their income, I was able to qualify them for Virginia Housing. So according to Virginia Housing, they were a first-time home buyer. But according to the VA, they were not a first-time home buyer. And so explaining that to someone who does not want to hear you was very hard. And they took that as if I was lying to them. They took it as if I made this crap up. And I was like, look, I'm telling you the truth. Like, I have nothing to hide from you. You can Google the information if you want to.
Yeah.
Nothing that I say is like private in a box in a corner in my office. Like, with all the stuff that we have today, like, you can Google this information. You can chat GPT it. You can do all the things that you want to do. So ultimately, they end up qualifying for the Virginia Housing Program to be able to get the 2% grant. However, because they were a repeat buyer with the VA, they still had that slightly higher funding fee. So sometimes you just got to listen to the professional, you may not know everything. I know
Yeah.
that some people, because they bought a house once or twice, they feel like they're super experienced and they can do my job, but I close a few houses each month. So I
Yeah.
kind of feel like I've gotten my badge of honor in this,
You earned your
in
stripes.
this industry,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, for sure.
I've earned my stripes.
Yeah.
So, and if there's something that I don't know, I'll always look it up.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm not perfect. I'm not saying that I am, but definitely listen to the professionals. I would never come and tell you how to do your job.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah, that is for sure. For sure.
So don't tell
I'm very
me.
big on that. I lean into, if I'm in someone else's profession and I'm seeking assistance or help in some way, I'm leaning on their understanding. You know what I mean? I'm not going to
me
sit there and
too.
try to overtake, you know, or feel like I know more than what they do when it comes to something that they practice on a daily basis.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even when I go to a restaurant, I ask the waiter, what you recommend? You
I
hear
do that
every
all
day.
the time.
You hear
I do
every
that all
day.
the time. Every
When
time
you
I go
see
to a
these
restaurant.
plates come
every
out,
time.
do you ever look at one and be like, eh?
Yeah. I feel like, because I've never worked at a restaurant before, but I feel like if I would work at a restaurant, I feel like I would try at least majority of stuff there at one point or another.
Me
So
too.
yeah, so I typically, when I go to a restaurant, y'all let me know what y'all think out there, because I do that all the time. When I go to a restaurant, especially one I'm not familiar with,
Right.
I always ask like the waiter or waitress, like, what would you recommend? Like, because
Exactly.
typically I have like meals that I like, so it's normally like
We all got
like,
go-tos.
yeah, so it's normally like 2 or 3 that when I go to a restaurant, I'm kind of like, okay, hey. So I haven't had either one of them. Which one tastes better? And I'll just lean on their understanding, you know. And most of the time, I will say they give good recommendations.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I would say,
they do.
you know, 8, maybe 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
So,
they do, because they see the food.
Yeah.
They know what's good that day.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
for
They
sure.
know what the kitchen looking like in the
Yeah,
back.
they do. They do. They do.
They know how fresh this looks.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So they could give the recommendations for sure.
That's a fact.
For sure.
Yeah, and I also wanted to touch on student loans. I know we had a meeting today, and that was a topic that came up. You know, recently, a lot of people are now coming out of, you know, different student loan repayment things that they were set up with. And so they're having impacts when it comes to like you purchasing a home, right? A lot of times, and we're having to go, especially I would say with FHA loans, you know, those are the ones that I'm seeing get most on. And it's, you know, we've kind of talked about it before, but, you know, when it comes to like your student loans, depending on your loan type, there's different ways that we count a payment against your debt to income ratio. You know, for FHA loans, we always count 0.5%, right? So what it comes to is like, let's say, for instance, you owe $50,000 on student loans. 1% of that is $500. So half of that is $250. So when it comes to your monthly debt to income ratio, we're going to put like almost like a, you know, a monthly payment or a monthly obligation of $250 a month.
And that's if the credit report isn't already showing a payment.
Correct.
This is for the folks who have zero as their monthly payment.
Yeah, zero is the monthly payment.
Now,
exactly.
if your monthly payment says that you pay $1,031, then that's what we're using.
That's what we're going to use. Yeah. We're all, when it comes to student loans, we always err on the higher number, right? You know, we want to make sure that we're accounting for it in the best way possible. So, you know, if that payment does adjust or changes on you, you know, the shock of that payment doesn't impact you being able to make your mortgage payment on a monthly basis. So yeah, FHA is 0.5%. When it comes to conventional, for Freddie Mac, it's also 0.5% as well. And then when it comes to Fannie Mae, it's 1%, right? Yep. So just want to make sure I mention that. And in VA, they have it's kind of like a special calculation. Yeah, a special calculation where you what is it? You
take 5% of the
0.5 and 0.05, and then you divide it by 12. Yeah, so you take a full amount of the student loans, then you times that by 0.05, and you get a number, and you divide that by 12. And that number typically falls, I think it's like 30 to 40%. Like, so basically, when I gave you an example just now of 0.5% for FHA, it's normally just a little bit less than that, right? So VA is normally a little bit more favorable when it comes to, you know, what we would use against your monthly obligation on your student loans. So yeah, I just want to touch on that, and also just, you know, because what happens sometimes is, you know, when we're helping you buy a house, if your credit report is reporting, you know, zero or hasn't reported something for a long time because you've been in some type of deferment of some sort, then we have to, you know, inquire through your student loan provider what's your current status with them. And then what we're seeing is a lot of times now is they're saying, oh, your payments now are this, or this is what it is. So, you know, just us being able to have a better understanding, if you're aware of your situation, because I know a lot of times people over the last 3 or 4 years have just kind of put their student loan stuff to the side. I haven't really paid attention to it. You know, when you're in the process of buying a house, I would probably start looking at those things a little bit more and bringing those more to the forefront so we can proper plan around, you know, what that looks like for you and how that can impact your buying power.
Absolutely. And with the change of administration, you definitely want to check on your student loans because there are some changes in the government that has or will impact you.
For
so
sure.
If you have any type of student loan and you're not in repayment, then you need to check on your student loans for sure.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking to buy a house, we're going to check.
100%. Absolutely. Yeah.
Whether you check or not. So just do your due diligence for sure.
Yeah. And I was going to say, I was talking to an agent the other day and we were having a conversation. And it was crazy because I am helping a person finance or purchase a home, right? And then they also have a home that they currently own that they're trying to sell and use the proceeds from that to put money down on the new purchase, right? Mm-hmm. So that happens a lot in our industry, right? Mm-hmm. And this one's kind of going south a little bit because the contract that is on the buyer's house that I'm helping just purchasing a new home, it just fell out of the contract like a week before closing, right? The buyer who's buying their house just got cold feet essentially. So they're going to lose the EMD and all that, but still now this buyer that I'm helping cannot buy that house because they're needing the proceeds to help, right? And so so that's one thing, right, that happened. So the buyer was distraught. I mean, called me in tears, right? And we're still trying to figure out ways to make things shake. But something we also found out, which I'm glad we kind of found it out in this situation, is that during the pandemic, they put their mortgage into forbearance. So they didn't, for a period of time, I think it was like 2 to 3 years, where they didn't make any mortgage payments, right? And that was something that was an option for folks who, during the pandemic, you're able to not make your mortgage payment at all or whatever, right? So what we end up finding out is right around the same time or shortly after the person fell out of the contract, we got like the title work and the payoff work and all that stuff came in.
So there's a separate payment
and so
on the
there's,
back end?
Yeah, so they owe like $25K, that was added to their payoff because they put their mortgage in, like a forbearance or deferment during the pandemic. So even let's say that buyer that was buying their house, that they were, utilizing those proceeds to purchase a new house, let's say that they didn't, walk out of that contract. They still wouldn't have been able to have enough money to put on this new home because once they received the payoff, they found out that all that principal and interest was deferred to the back end. So now that they're trying to sell their house, they're only netting, they're netting a lot less than what they were anticipating. So it's like a double whammy for them. So I just wanted to bring that up. I know there's a lot of people now because, when it comes to real estate, they say people typically buy and sell real estate in about a 5 to 7 year time frame. So now we're starting to come up on that cycle of folks who bought houses in 2020, 2021.
Yep.
Even before that. It didn't necessarily mean you had to buy a house during that time, but you owned a house during that time where you could defer your payments when that opportunity came about if you hit hard times because of the pandemic. And what's happening is we're starting to see that come up. A lot more people are seeing that, oh man, they thought they were going to net a certain amount. And they're netting much less because of
I'm surprised that they got away with not paying for 2 years. That's a long time. Now,
it is a long time.
During the pandemic, I remember when people was trying to buy a house and they went in deferment on their current mortgage. Do you remember when people were doing that?
I remember that.
And I just remember thinking, like, why would someone lend to you if you're saying on your other loan you cannot pay it?
Yeah, man.
Like, logically, it didn't even make sense. Yeah. Even before the new set of rules came out, because they had to, like, all of the different programs had to scramble and come up with some type of guideline for us to follow during that time because they were aware that people were deferring and they also were aware that people were still trying to buy.
Yep.
And so before those guidelines came out, in my mind, I was thinking, like, why would you do that? Why would you defer one payment and then say, oh, yep, let me get $500,000?
Well, I know that answer.
I know why.
Yeah.
But why would you think that would even work? You know what I mean? It's always somebody trying to take advantage of the system.
Always, man.
Always.
Yeah. Yes. And like I said, I mentioned this. I don't want to, keep harping on it, but I used to be a person like that. Anytime there was a loophole, I used to use, like, one of my homegirls that I went to college with, she had to hook up on food stamps. I would, like, she would give me her card. I would give her the money. Like, I did everything out there that you can think of that would, like, be a lookout or a workaround in the system. I did that. But what I always saw when I did those things is, like, my ceiling of what I could possibly be, I felt like was very low because I was always looking for those opportunities. So I was looking for those opportunities down here when there's greater opportunities above. So, that's something I just wanted to share because I've kind of mentioned that before, but when you try to work the system in that way, man, it's cool. You may get by in that moment. You may feel like you're saving something, man, but at the end of the day, in the bigger scheme of things, you really tripping yourself up, man. You really are in the bigger picture, man. So
that's funny.
Yeah.
Well, another thing that I wanted to bring up was lately I have been getting or taking applications, and my initial questions when I'm talking to someone is always, where do you think your credit is?
Mm-hmm.
Have you started saving towards your purchase?
Yeah.
Are you military?
Mm-hmm.
And how soon are you looking to buy?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I ask those questions, when we get to the part about have you been saving towards your home purchase?
Yeah.
It has been lately, no. And so when I ask them like, hey, okay, well, how much do you have in your account?
Mm-hmm.
And it's usually about $500, right? And so I have to then have this conversation with them about the products that we offer, what that means, and then of course talk about closing costs. So one thing that I wanted to bring up today was you may think that when you buy a house, when someone says that it's zero down, that doesn't mean that you're not coming to the table with anything.
Yeah.
That's not what that means.
Yeah.
Zero down simply just means that if you're buying a $200,000 house, you do not have to put down a down payment towards that $200,000. But in addition to buying a house, there are closing costs. There is a cost to get the house from the seller's name into your name, right?
Yep.
And that can include your title fees, your escrow, your homeowner's insurance, taxes, things that are associated. So you're still going to come out of pocket, let's say somewhere between $8,000 to $12,000, depending on the purchase price of the house, right? Yeah. But there is something called seller concessions or gifts that you can get from family or other ways that you can reduce your closing costs.
Yeah.
But that is something that is strategic. That doesn't mean that you're not going to have money out of pocket, right?
Yeah.
So that's another bucket. But then when you also buy this house, you still have to pay for your home inspections. You still have to put down your earnest money deposit, which is a good faith deposit that goes towards the seller. You still have to pay for your appraisal. So those are costs that are yours. So let's say each one of those costs an average of $500. You have to expect that, okay, I'm going into this, I'm probably going to spend about $1,500 starting off the
bare
rip,
minimum.
right?
Yeah, bare minimum.
And when you compare that to you buying a $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 house, $1,500 isn't much money, right? But you just have to consider that, hey, these are some things that may come up. And in addition to that, let's say you're in a situation, because there are situations where someone does come to closing with nothing, right? They may have a little money that they put up front. They may even get that money back at the back end. But you still have to have something that's called reserves. And reserves is just your savings account, just in case something happens with that house. The lender sometimes wants to see that you have saved money, an emergency fund. If your HVAC goes out, you can cover it, or you can cover some of the expenses that come with being a homeowner. So I want people to get out that mindset of thinking that, oh, it's zero down, meaning I can come and just show up and sign the documents and the house is mine. It doesn't work like that. We're renting. It's not going to work like that with buying a house.
Yeah, and I'll add to your point on that one, man. So two things that I'll say is, to me, when you're buying a house, and like Sofia just mentioned, if you like the three main costs that you have is the earnest money deposit, the home inspection cost, and the appraisal. And those typically, on a lower end are at least $500 a piece, right? So to me, if you don't have that amount of money, to me, I honestly don't think you're probably in a position to purchase a home. And now for me and Sofia, the way we do things, man, we make things work. We know how to give solutions. We know how to time things up when you get paid. Like, there's so many different ways and, things that we can do to try to help put you in the best spot or make you look the best when it comes to the underwriter's eyes or the automated system. So, that's that one thing. I think that's not asking a lot, is being able to save $1,500 to try to purchase a home, right? The second thing, though, I want to mention, I know you kind of talked about like bank statements and reserves and savings. And that's something that I'm seeing a lot lately, is that, I may work with someone may apply with me and have a sufficient credit score. Maybe it's borderline, but it's sufficient enough for us to get an approval through the automated system. And, they have their debt to income. We're able to kind of figure out, okay, hey, what they could potentially qualify for. But when we get a copy of their bank statements, I mean, it looks pretty bad. Like, I mean, it's,
Negatives.
I'm helping a guy now who's a 100% disabled vet, and he works, kind of like a part-time job. But I mean, if you look at his bank statements, I mean, he's literally at the end, we get the statement at the end of the month, it's negative this, negative that. When you look at that every single day, it's negative, negative, negative. I'm just like, man, we can't approve you right now because right now you're not showing that you can maintain your current living and lifestyle situation, right? And so that's just something that I feel like, us as lenders, I want to make sure we brought that to the forefront and let you guys know that, that's important, right? And everybody always talks about credit. I think people talk about, your debt to income all the time. We talk about how much money you make and all that, but, really position yourself, be strategic when it comes to your savings, always pay yourself and put money to the side. It shouldn't be a situation where you're always going into your account negative all the time, because to be honest with you, even if you meet in all those other categories, when an underwriter looks and sees that your account is constantly in the negative, it's going to let the underwriter know and let us know that the likelihood of you defaulting is a lot higher than someone who has the ability to save money. So you want to make sure that you're, budgeting, putting money to the side, or just not living above your means, because that's ultimately what that is.
That is. Yeah. And I used to work in the banking space where, it used to be where some banks would allow you to go negative. And
overdraft.
Let you overdraft, and then you pay a fee to overdraft, and then it becomes like a custom for some people. They go in, they know that they can overdraft by $500, so they'll go in and overdraft by $500 to then go pay what they have to pay, and then the direct deposit will hit later. And it's like, you gotta think about that. Like, if someone came to you and they presented their bank statement to you and said, hey, I want to borrow $1,000, and you see how they live, would you give them that $1,000 if you knew
probably not
that they were consistently negative? Chances are you wouldn't.
Correct.
You would look at that paper and be like, you might not be a good candidate to...
And we're not giving $1,000.
Right,
we're typically giving hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Exactly.
So just think about that.
So think about it from that perspective. You have to, because I know I wouldn't. If I see that, even it doesn't even, like, there's people that I see when you're a person that constantly goes and spends money on frivolous stuff, like you're always at Starbucks, or you're always shopping, or you're always doing that, and then you come to me and say that you want to borrow money, my answer is immediately no. Because you didn't have the ability to resist buying all that bull crap. How do I know that you're not going to continue that behavior and then say, oh, well, I can't pay you back? Right? So think about it like that.
And I'll say one more thing. I'm sorry. One more thing. All right. And because what I've learned in my life, just looking back, I'm getting older. You know what I'm saying? I'm 38. You about to be 30. You about to join the club here soon. But what I've learned, man, is when it comes to things you want in life, the number one thing that you need to have is discipline. Like, that's literally the number one characteristic. Because a lot of times, you have the ability, like you said, to go to buy Starbucks coffee. You can go do these things. These things are all around us, right? These are our desires, things that makes us feel good. But ultimately, if you're always consistently doing those things, it's gonna hamper you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta, even though you have the ability to go do something and spend money on things, you don't always have to go do that. Like, reward yourself here and there, but it shouldn't be a ritual. It shouldn't have to be a daily thing. You know what I mean? And that's something that I see a lot of times, especially, again, I always like to speak, first and foremost to my community, is that those are the things that's really, hurting us from getting ahead. You have these vices, these things, if it's smoking weed, if it's drinking this cup of coffee, if it's, on your lunch break, always going to this place, like, there's alternatives that you can do that, requires discipline to do that. But there's alternatives you can do that can actually put you in a better position. And, reward yourself. Maybe once a month you go to this place that you eat instead of every day or every Friday, every payday. Like, just kind of, reward yourself in a manner where it's not like a daily thing. That, because I know a lot of times people want to make themselves feel good and do those things. But, ultimately that's going to not allow you to get further ahead because you're always just kind of on that same, cycle. So I just want to mention that real quick.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. All right. So you know what time it is.
Yes, it is. And you came prepared this time. I would say kind of. Last time you didn't. But today, you came prepared. I just had to give you some
definitely not. You're not going to come for me.
Oh, I'm not. You be coming for me about the skate and all that stuff. So I can't do a little bit.
I came prepared today.
Okay.
Now, you may not have liked what I came with.
Okay.
But I was prepared.
I said I didn't say you weren't prepared. I
Okay.
said you were prepared. I said last time you
All
weren't. So this time you did.
All right. So one gotta go.
One gotta go. Let's go. What we got?
All right. So since you say that I am going to be 38 soon, which I am, my birthday's coming up. So that means that I'm going to be partaking in a little turn up.
Okay. Partaking in a little turn up. Okay. All right.
In the next couple weeks,
All
right?
All right.
And so obviously millennials, our age group, we have the best music.
We do.
Right?
We do.
We do. We have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We got a little turn up. We got a little chill back, kick back music, right? Mm-hmm. And so I thought that because of it being my birthday soon, we're going to take it back to the early 2000s, right? Okay. And we're going to choose one song that has to go. So let's say it's your birthday, audience, and you want to choose your playlist in the club, right? Okay. Or at the house, kicking it, whatever, however you celebrate your birthday. Mm-hmm. And we're playing these 4 songs. One has to go. Okay. All right. So we got Juvenile, Back That Ass Up. Okay. That's song number 1. Okay. Okay. Song number 2, Crime Mob, Knuck If You Buck.
Oh, yeah. Bless you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Mm-hmm. 50 Cent, In the Club. Okay. Okay. Club anthem, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, these are good songs, right?
Too Short. Blow the Whistle. Wow. One gotta go.
Wow. That's tough, man. That's tough.
And I already know which one is gonna be right there.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I already know.
Okay. For you or for me?
For you.
Oh, for me. Okay. Okay.
For you.
All right. All right. All right. All right. So for me, the one that I always say I put over here is gonna be Juvenile.
See?
Juve.
The way you giggled when I said that.
Because I'm gonna tell y'all why, right? I never forget this. What did he say? For the 99 and the 2000, right? My man Juvie say, right? Cash money. Uh-huh. So I remember, right? In 99 and 2000, I was in 8th grade. I was in middle school, right? And I never forget, like, we had a party. I guess it was kind of like the end of the year party, right? And it was in the gym. And, I was straight in there. I really, I had like girls that I was cool with, like, but I never really had like, like girlfriends like that or whatever. I mean, I did, but I didn't, right? So I remember, man, this was like the first time I went to like a party that was like not chaperoned. It was just like the kids were there. Like they were like some of the faculty was there, but they weren't like on it. Like it was just like a good time. And I remember that song came on and I saw girls dancing and throwing their butt back. I was just like, I felt like I became like a little man at that particular time. You know what I'm saying? So every time I hear that song, not every time I hear that song, but when you just said it there, it brought me back to that mindset of like that party at Brandon Middle School in the gym. And all my boys like, yo, are we holding each other like that? Like, I mean, that's over there. Mm-hmm. All right.
That's funny.
Okay, refresh my brain again. What was you said?
Too Short, Blow the Whistle.
Okay.
Knuck If You Buck, Crime Mob, and 50 Cent in the Club.
So number 2 for me, it's kind of in the order you just said. Knuck If You Buck, boy. Like that joint, because I remember same thing, going to house parties and like when that song came on at the end, man, we just started fighting. It happened and like I don't know what it was. Well, I knew what it was.
Coming to the club, shaking these dreads.
Yo, that joint just got everybody like the whole night, like, right? You go to a party and you got problems with somebody else that's over there at the party, right? But, you with your boys, your girls, whatever, having a good time. And you trying to like, me as a guy was trying to, see the girls that were there. Girls probably trying to see the guys or whatever. But like, as soon as that song came on, things escalated like that quick. Like it just was like a natural thing, right? Mm-hmm. And so I just bring back the memories of like just being in the trenches with my boys, man. Most time like my football player buddies or whatever. And we just kind of are people from my neighborhood. And we kind of, let people know what time it was, So that's over there, right?
Now we got 50 Cent in the club.
Now we got 50 Cent in the club.
Too Short, Blow the Whistle.
And we got Too Short. All right. So what I'm going to say is the one that I'm going to have to go is Too Short.
That's got to go?
That's got to go. That's got to go for me. Yeah, Too Short got to go because I like that song a lot. It's from the Bay, Too Short. But in the club, like for me, I just remember when that dropped, like that was my first time really like going to like high school parties and stuff. That
Okay.
was like 14, 15. So that song itself, it just resonated with me more. As an adult, like now, I like the Too Short song. Like that song to me is better now, but just like the nostalgia aspect of the In the Club song
Okay.
and when 50 came out. So that's what
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So
What about you?
for me,
I feel like we got like what 4 weeks in a row, 3-4 weeks in a
4
row.
weeks in a row.
Oh,
I think I'm about to break it down.
I think so too. The way you responded, I think it might be different. What you got? What you got?
All right. So to this day, in 2025, when 99 and the 2000s come on, it don't matter if we getting a drink at the bar. It don't matter if we in the bathroom.
The girl just running.
We out.
Getting to the stage.
We headed to the dance floor.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a fact.
So that will forever be. I think that was a classic. I think Juvenile just did his what was it? 25-year anniversary on that song,
I did see
right?
that. Yeah, I saw that too. Yep.
And he did the Tiny Desk.
Yeah, Tiny Desk. Yep.
Right?
Yeah, yep.
So classic.
Yep.
When a song can last that long and still be popular, it's a classic, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't have any special memories for Back That Ass Up, but I do have a special memory for Knuck If You Buck. Right?
Okay, so that's number 2 for you?
That's number 2 for me.
So we won and 2 then.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So I'm 2 for 2.
Yeah, I said 1 and 2. Yeah.
So Knuck If You Buck, my senior year, I played basketball, since 3rd grade. I was a point guard, shooting guard. Number 1, I played 1 and 2. Right? I'm short. If you don't know, I'm only 5'4". So, and in high school, I was like 5'2". Right. So I was a little,
Yeah.
So I also dabbled in other sports. So I ran track because my coach said that I had to. I was a cheerleader as well. And when I was cheering, I went to a majority, let's say 50% plus black school, high school, right?
Uh-huh.
So we played a lot of the music that was current, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So of course, during timeouts, during the boys' basketball games, I was a cheerleader. We would play music, and Knuck If You Buck would come on.
Okay.
And let's just say, being a cheerleader, when that song came on and you're facing the crowd, we would get the crowd hype off of Knuck If You Buck. I mean, fights broke out in the crowd from this song.
Yeah.
So
it
is definitely
it's something. I don't know what it is,
it's
man.
definitely a classic.
Yeah, for
Okay.
For sure.
So now we're down to the last 2. We got Too Short, Blow the Whistle, 50 Cent in the Club. Now, although I do like 50 Cent, if I had to choose a 50 Cent song that was relatable, I used to love 21 Questions.
Yeah, that is a good
21
song.
Questions was something I could listen to every day. I'll be like, I remember one time I asked somebody all 21 questions, right?
So
but for fun.
But question though, was it truly 21 questions? I never thought. I mean, I never actually counted with 21 questions. I don't know. I might do that on the way home. Yeah. Yep.
But if I have to today, because I'm thinking about today, I'm not gonna go back in time, but I'm thinking about today. If I had to choose the songs from me being my birthday and I'm going out to party, I'm definitely listening to Too Short, right?
Understood.
So 50 Cent in the Club gotta go.
Understood.
Even though it's a classic, it's something that people bop to in the club. I do feel like Too Short. What's my favorite word? Bitch. Why you gotta say it like
yeah. No, I get it.
The whole club.
No, I get it. No. Again, like I said, I just have
people talking about something. You can find me in the club.
Yeah. I like I said, I totally understand it. We have the same sentiment. It's just in the club
different
for
order.
me. Yeah, just different. Yeah,
different order.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and I'm gonna give an honorable mention to Soulja Boy. You got to dunk, dunk.
Yeah.
Honorable mention. I'm just saying.
No, I hear you. I definitely hear you on that one.
Because that's definitely a turn up song.
Yeah.
I don't know too many people who don't like that song.
I like that song. I like it.
but yeah. So what would you choose, guys?
Yeah.
Which one gotta go?
Yeah.
Put your comments below.
Most definitely.
What you got coming up?
As I mentioned, I got a golf trip coming up, so I'm excited about that. Like I said, the weather looks like it's gonna be good, so I'll have some good time with the fellas, man. Some cigars, some food, and some drinks, some good golf. Outside of that, that's pretty much it for real. I ain't got nothing else coming up. What about you?
I got one of my friends is having a barbecue this Saturday, so I'm gonna go to that, and then on Sunday I'm getting my hair braided for my trip next week. So
cool.
And work, stuff like that.
Yeah, work never stops.
Work never stops. I'll be traveling with my backpack
Yeah,
and my computer.
Me too. I definitely have my computer with me as well. Yep.
So I was actually surprised this past weekend when I traveled with my computer and stuff, because typically wherever I go, my computer goes for the most part, especially if I'm not coming home to it.
Yeah.
I traveled and nobody called me. I was like, oh, this is amazing. But there are times where we do get those calls, and I feel like just my luck on my birthday, I'll be put in that situation where they'll call.
That's how it happens.
That's how it always goes. It'll be my birthday, and they're like, hey, I'm sorry to interrupt. I know it's your birthday.
Yeah.
What's the next word?
But it's always.
Can you do this?
Yeah, followed by something that they need. Yeah, that's how it goes.
So I'm anticipating that. Definitely anticipating that. And then I can stop wearing hats. I've been wearing hats for the last 2 weeks because I've been purposely not trying to manipulate my hair.
Oh wow, okay.
Because I'm getting braids, so I've been trying to let it breathe. I haven't really gotten braids in a long time, so it's really been breathing for a while. But yeah, just trying to keep it gel free and stuff like that.
Okay.
So,
okay. Cool.
Been wearing the hats. So
Cool.
You'll see me next time you see me on camera. I'll have braids.
There we go.
I'll have a new look.
Okay. Sweet.
All right, guys. So we appreciate you listening to our podcast. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at I am Sofia KB.
Yep. And you can follow me, Bryan Royster. So it's Bryan_Royster on Facebook and Instagram as well.
And you can follow the podcast at Let's Talk BSPC. Thank you for listening to the podcast, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
See you. Peace.